Oh my goodness, I didn't plan on you guys seeing that picture first. What's up, everybody? Thanks so very much for joining me here on the Mad Church Disease podcast. I am tremendously grateful that you are here with me. Tremendously grateful. Thank y'all so very much for joining me for the Mad Church Disease cast. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. I'm just gonna hop right into it because I'm not gonna read over 483 pages. But there are some new documents in, ladies and gentlemen. It looks as if TD Jakes' lawyers have responded to Tyrone Blackburn. And of course, you guys know I'm going to be giving you my type of commentary as it relates to this subject. I love a lot of content creators' takes on a lot of stuff. And a lot of times I be in the bushes and I don't say nothing, I just watch. But shout out to all of you that are in the chat, and thank y'all for punting in some purple hearts. Sharon, thank you so much for joining me. Sharon T. Leonard, Betty Yellow, thank you so much for your faithfulness. Ma Dell, thank you so much. April Nichols, thank you so much. Dion, thank y'all. Fred Samuel, Patsy Brown, thank you so much. CC, what's up, CC? Beauty for Ashes. Cut the Fluff Sports Media. What's up, Cut the Fluff? That's gotta be some good entertainment over there with Cut the Fluff. If somebody starts off like Cut the Fluff, that's gotta be some stuff. Get to the point. That's what you're trying to tell them. Get to the point. Stop all that fluffy stuff. Beautiful Ashes, thank you so much. Jacqueline, thank you so very much. Abba Love, Recash, thank y'all for being here. K Rich, Lori Coleman, just being me, and for all of you that are in the bushes, every now and then, if you could do me a favor and just fall out of the bushes and hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. Well, thank you so very much, River, for your support of the channel. I want to thank all of you that are doing that. I'm not going to keep you guys long tonight. I'm going to get straight to the point. Let us do our announcements first and foremost. If you are supporting the Mad Church Disease channel, that information is now on your screen. You guys can support the channel tonight. I ask everybody to at least 10 of you guys to support the channel with at least $10 by Cash App. I'm just sort of mixing everything together. I've already had one person to support us tonight. So if I could get at least 9 of you to support the channel, the Cash App information is on the screen for you. You can scan that information and support the channel like that. I am going to be mentioning that a lot tonight, only because we are crescendoing to the end of the month, and I want to make sure that I'm able to do everything that I need to do around the first of the month. If you are not a member of my channel yet, you're definitely going to want to join and become a member of the channel as well. And that information, of course, the moderators will put in the chat for you, and you'll get access to all of that information as well. But thank you so very much, River, for your support of the channel. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. Now, with that being said, there are some new documents that Bishop T.D. Jakes and his attorneys have filed, which I find hilarious. And we're going to get into it. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm not going to read all of this case law and all of this mumbo jumbo language. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't be reading through all of this and hitting the targets with pronunciating all of these words properly. But you guys know I do my best. Shout out to Sean Talks. Sean Talks, I was in your I watched your live. I believe you went live. Was it Sunday? And I watched your live on Sunday, and I enjoyed listening to you, not because, to some people you would seem like, you're on one side. I don't think you're on anybody's side, but I thought your commentary was very balanced. And I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed it. And there's a maturity that comes from your commentary that I enjoyed. There's a maturity there, and I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Even if you disagree with me tomorrow, Sean Talk, I'm going to tell you that what I heard on Sunday was good, and I enjoyed that. So just to let you know. All right. Christine Parks is in the house. Shout out to Christine. Thank you so much. All right, y'all, let's get into it. But before I get into it tonight, I have a little bit of a surprise for you. Shout out to Ann Brock from the Old Lady Church blog. Let me just say this about my friend Ann Brock. Y'all listen to me really carefully. I have always supported Ann Brock, and a lot of vloggers get their stories from Ann Brock. One of the reasons why Larry Reid and I fell out was because he kept disrespecting and Brock. And people just don't understand those are the people that came before us in this sort of vlogging space, especially when it comes to church commentary. There are certain people over the years who have paid a heavy price for the work that they have done, and they've been ridiculed and all sorts of things. But I want to tell you something. Shout out to Ann Brock. I did a and years ago, Larry and I sent Larry a voice message about, respecting the people that came before him in this space. Ann Brock is one of those people that have come before us. A lot of people take their stories from Ann, etc. They report on it. They never give Ann credit. And, it is what it is. But I will always tell you, for the most part, hey, Rodney, where I get that information from. Hey, Lynn, thank you so much for being here. Listen to me. Ann Brock this morning posted a story that I didn't know nothing about. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks as if Larry Reid has made it to the National Enquirer. And I'll put a link to the article in the chat for you guys so you can eventually go read it. But I was also quoted in this article. I found this to be hilarious. I'm going to talk about this first, and then we're going to get on out and talk about Bishop T.D. Jakes, right? There was an article written, and I'm going to go through it. I'm not going to go through the whole article. We're going to move fast through this real quick. But as it says, preachy YouTuber Larry Reid under fire for promoting a convicted money guru who was sentenced to 21 years in federal prison. Okay. So that information is there. Okay, let me just do this too so I can make sure that's down there because I don't want no drama and I ain't got time for the drama. Okay. So yeah, and we're going to deal with all of these hot topics on today. So get ready. All right. All right. So they said this. They go into it a little bit more. They said popular YouTube star Larry Reid is being slammed by online critics for once teaming up with a financial advisor, recently sentenced to 21 months in federal prison. Y'all know who we talking about. We talking about Rosalind Weems for stealing thousands from her boss. So all of that stuff that we told you about Rosalind Weems, now the National Enquirer is seconding those emotion. Okay, so that's second the emotion. Okay. The preachy host Larry Reid Live builds some of his 160,000 plus subscribers $24 a month for exclusive Patreon access to hear the stock market tips from this so-called money guru, Rosalind Weems, an executive assistant for a New Hampshire financial advisor. There we go again, you all of the information that we told you. Here it goes. Now the National Enquirer is telling you. Shout out to Sean Talks. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate that. All right, Lord, they're going to say I said that so you can send your cash up. I can hear it coming now. But shout out to Sean Talks because your commentary was really good. He's actually, this is what said from her financial advisor. And I am quoted in this article. It says, by quote, he was telling these people that they were stock market geniuses and that they could help you with the bull and the bear. Y'all remember I said that? I've been laughing at this quote all day. I think this is the funniest thing. And I think it was more or less more of the bull, says Marcellus McMillian, host of the Madchurchdisease YouTube channel. For months, the duo appeared in a variety of stage events spouting the Bible-thumping financial wisdom alongside Bishop Bernard Jordan of New York's Zoe Ministries, a self-described master prophet capable of giving followers insight and understanding into what God has planned for you according to his website. She Weems was not an investment advisor in any way. A law enforcement source tells National Enquirer she was more like a personal assistant or executive assistant, which was wild because she was on speaking tours, gospel wealth kind of stuff, and claiming to be making $20,000 a month. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. I told y'all, I hate to come on here and say I told you so, but we told you so. Let's move on. Weems, known for her catchphrase, I short sell shite, hit a career roadblock on September the 26th of 2022 when she was indicted by the New Hampshire U.S. Attorney's Office for pocketing $52,000 of her boss's Airbnb rent receipts. Court documents show she stole the Airbnb money. Weems arranged to have the payments diverted to accounts under her exclusive control rather than an account associated with the property owners, and then used the payments for her own benefit. Now get this, Reid, I'm going to skip down, who touts himself as an actor, commentator, author, songwriter, and spiritual leader, admits he cut ties with Weems before her indictment and claims he was unaware of her 2011 fraud conviction for stealing, I'll just say stealing, more than $311,000 from a pension fund. Now, y'all listen to me. All Larry Reid and Bernard Jordan had to do was a Google search, and that information would have came up, because that's what we did. They did no research whatsoever when it came to finding any information out about this woman. And to be honest with you, I don't think that they were trying to do any research, but I also believe that he should be held accountable for those people losing thousands of dollars from this woman's advice, and individuals having to come to his Patreon and pay in his Patreon to get this advice. I received an email from some people, and I'm going to keep their information private. Some people have communicated to me the sums of money that they have lost, and it is not a little bit of money. I'll just tell you that right there. Larry, if you are a man of your word and integrity, which I know you're not, let me just say this, in my opinion, you should give those people back their money. Okay, just like Eddie Long did when those people from Ephraim lost their money with Ephraim Taylor. He gave those people back their money. He made those people whole. Guess what, Larry? You should give those people back their money and the money that they lost, because it's your responsibility as the leader of your Patreon to do the due diligence to make sure that who you bring to your audience is on the up and up. Now, I want y'all to concentrate on the fact of why he says he broke ties with her. When contacted by the Inquirer, Reid explained he split from Weems after a disagreement over the ways that she was treating customers purchasing books she was peddling online. Y'all listen to me very carefully. So the thing that Larry says made him break ties with her was the books. I want y'all to hear me very carefully. That is something that you guys communicated in the chat about what started to happen, and you gave Larry an out. This is Larry's out to say that's why he broke ties with her, was because of the book. I don't believe that. Nor do I believe he broke ties with Bernard Jordan because of Bernard Jordan going to the White House and singing "How Great Thou Art" with some other black ministers and Paula White. I don't believe that. I don't believe that is the catalyst that created this whole breakup of their relationship. I just don't believe that. I think that that's foolishness, and I think it's just silly for somebody to just say that. I think it's just dumb. And for those of us that have been following Larry and following these people and watching and listening and blah, 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 we know Larry Reid will take any out that he could possibly get. And this was his out. He said the books is what caused him. So she wasn't shipping the books out. And I don't know how he thought she was going to ship the books out, because he didn't do no due diligence to make sure that the woman was a financial whiz like she claimed. So the books is what made him decide he didn't want to be bothered no more with a woman that he used to make thousands of dollars inside of his Patreon. That's the story, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. That's the story. I just thought I wanted to bring that up to you guys' attention tonight, because it's going to be important for us tonight to make sure that we are doing what we need to do. Shout out to all of you guys who have supported the Madchurchdisease channel. Let me say this before I go on. Over the last 4 or 5 days, it's been really rough for me. I kind of rested today, and I'm going to go back to laying down after this live. Let me tell y'all something. I want to thank every one of you who sent me an email, a voice message, and anything, Instagram. Those of you that reached out to me, let me just personally say thank you. I have felt your love. I have felt your support, and I want to say thank you so very much. I'm thankful that you guys get me, you understand me, and I really do appreciate that. So I just wanted to say shout out. If you booked an appointment with me over the last couple of days and I had to move things around, thank you guys for being so present and so kind about it. Thank y'all so very much, because I really do appreciate it. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, And so I just want to say thank you guys so very much. It meant the world to me that you guys would be so kind. I mean, perfect strangers, people that I've never had conversations with before ever, have hit me up and said things to me. And I realize some of you are even supporters of people who don't like me. And some of you were so nice. And I was like, just thank you so much. And so I just wanted to say thank you for those of you that reached out to me. So thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. And I mean just what I said. Welcome to the Madchurchdisease channel, a channel dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Want to stay connected to me and the Madchurchdisease community? Well, then join our email community newsletter. Stay in the know with all the updates and fresh content that is created for this channel. It's time you join the private community for the revolutionary family, where we can talk and laugh all in a space that's safe with a no judgment zone. Connect with other members and build lasting friendships. The doors are now open. Want to stay connected and be notified each time I go live? Subscribe to the text community and be notified each time that we go live. Simply add your details for instant updates on all our lives. Are you a budding YouTuber or business professional who would like my thoughts on all things business related? Book a free 15-minute consultation where I can help with social media, YouTube, web design, and so much more. Book your consultation now and build your future. Get away from the rat race and build your business. Sometimes reading y'all comments is hilarious. Shout out to y'all. Yes, if you're interested in building a YouTube channel, or you're starting to build a YouTube channel and you want to know how to exponentially grow your channel, you definitely want to book a free consultation with me. I can definitely share some insight with you to help you build your channel. I have 2 barriers of entry with my service, and I'll talk to you some more about that. You can book your time. The links will be in the description below, and you can set up that time based upon my schedule, and it will pretty much let you know that. Okay. So I just wanted to share that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, many of you know over the weeks and the months, the Madchurchdisease channel has been following the Bishop T.D. Jakes or Thomas Dexter Jakes versus Dwayne YoungBlood case. This case has been one of these cases that all of us have been relatively very interested in because of its proximity to the P. Diddy case. I believe that some people are still waiting to see whether or not P. Diddy is that if T.D. Jakes is going to be called in as a potential witness in the P. Diddy case. And if he is, did I call you April? What did I say? Is that not how to pronounce your name? I'm sorry. What did I do? I'm so sorry. I don't know, charge it up to my head. I don't know what I did. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, Nichols. Oh, it's supposed to be Eccles. I am so April, I'm so sorry. Listen, I got on these glasses and listen here, April. I am so sorry. Y'all know I'm a goofball. Oh my God, that is so funny. I am so sorry. It's right in front of my face. That's why I'm laughing. And you are absolutely concerned. That you are right. That is so funny with my silly self. That is hilarious. Okay. Okay. Regroup. Okay. Okay. So, we've been following this case. This case really didn't start when T.D. Jakes filed the lawsuit. This case, in my opinion, started when vloggers went on their platform. I know, Leah, I do. I get so tickled. That's why y'all can't throw me off, because I'll be laughing for about 20 minutes. I really will. Okay, wait a minute. I tell you, because I love to laugh, and the Bible says that a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. Let me tell you something. God is good to me, and I like to laugh, and I don't be taking myself too seriously. I don't take none of this stuff too seriously. But anyway, so TD Jakes and well, a lot of this stuff started on a podcast with Manasseh Jordan. There were certain implications that were made. There were certain statements that were made about Manasseh Jordan filing lawsuits against Bishop TD Jakes. It was like we were told that in a week it was coming. We were told in a month it was coming. We were told all kinds of stuff. We were told that people had just got off the phone with TD Jakes' team. I mean, it just got to be ridiculous. When that didn't work, ladies and gentlemen, then the next stage up was Dwayne YoungBlood. So if you're unfamiliar with this information, I'm trying to lay out a little bit of stuff for you. So Dwayne YoungBlood shows up on the scene. And I had remembered, I said, good Lord, I said, this name sounds familiar. And if you all remember, for those of you that are new to the channel, I called one of my friends. He is known on YouTube as Leonard the Truth Seeker. Leonard has a great channel over there. If you want to find Leonard's channel, you may want to go ahead and look up Leonard the Truth Seeker and subscribe to Leonard's channel. Leonard actually had went to the courthouse when Dwayne YoungBlood was sentenced, and it got into a big kerfuffle outside the courtroom. It was filmed by the Eyewitness News channel there. And so, yeah, Leonard actually let us know that one of the reasons why he ended up going to jail was because there was another person who came and was added to his case. Now, at the time that Dwayne YoungBlood went to jail, ladies and gentlemen, Dwayne YoungBlood went to jail because his last instance, he was found with a young man from the article stated that I read online that said they had his pants down and he had an ankle monitor on. He was out on some kind of, I don't know, parole. I don't know if he had a weekend pass. I don't know how this system of government is working right about now. It seems like criminals are just running rampant. By the way, just let me let y'all know. Y'all remember I told y'all when Trump got into office, what did I tell y'all? I told y'all this is the age or the time frame of the liar. These liars are getting taken out of jail. They're stealing, they're robbing, they're doing all kinds of stuff, and they're getting pardoned for it, right? Understand something, the time that you're in. And I'm going to take a moment right here to tell you something. Over the next several months and weeks, I want you all to be watching all of the people that are surrounding your life. Because when the Lord woke me up the other morning and told me and showed me that glass breaking and shattering in all a million pieces, when I told you he gave me those 3 T's, he told me truth, trauma, and treachery. I want you all to start watching all of the people who are around you and who are a part of your life. And I want you guys to be sniffing out the treacherous behavior of all of your family and your friends, or the people who deem themselves to be your friend. I want you to watch their treachery because we're going to have to deal with some treacherous situations before the close of this year. And I'm telling you guys this ahead of time because the Holy Spirit has really been dealing with me about treachery and about dealing with people's own personal trauma. And you know something, a lot of you expressed to me when you reached out to me the other day about our program, you was like, Marcel's, we understood what you said. Some of you were like, I don't even understand why you're apologizing. But I was apologizing because I don't want anybody to ever think that I don't love Black women. That's just crazy to me. And I couldn't see how people could think that way. And it hurt me. It really did. And I was like, oh, man. I said, okay. So I said, Marcellus, just make a statement so people can understand and then move on. Right. So that's what I'm doing. So here's the thing. Watch people's behavior. Watch your family over the next 6 months, because all of us in our lives are about to experience a little bit of treachery from the people who are close to us. And you need to be in an emotional state where you prepare yourself to deal with what's coming. And I'm not telling you this just to be telling you this. I'm telling you what I know to be true. Okay, so watch what people are doing. And let me tell you why. Because if you do not watch the people that are in your life, you're going to be like that glass breaking, and it's going to shatter everything into a million pieces. Your emotions, your life, everything's going to be shattered, and you're going to find yourselves trying to pick up the pieces of stuff. But hear what I'm going to tell you. If you are in the right kind of spirit and mind and emotional place, God's gonna have you. You're gonna be fine. It ain't gonna bother you. It's gonna be like water on a duck's back. It's gonna roll off of you, and you're gonna keep on rolling. Think it not strange, ladies and gentlemen, that at the same time that the Lord was blessing us over here, we had stuff, all kinds of strife and all kind of mess going on. And I was like, I don't even create an environment in my life to have a whole bunch of mess. So I was like, where this coming from? I was like, holy cow, this ain't my life. So I'm like, okay, I must need to deal with something here. But I want you to be careful. You need to deal with your personal traumas in your life too. You need to make sure that you deal with your trauma, because a lot of us have trauma from our childhoods. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Even as adults, you guys need to deal with your trauma, because you need to watch the treachery. You got to deal with the trauma, understand the truth, deal with the trauma, and prepare yourself for the treachery, because it's coming. Okay, just don't think that you're not going to be betrayed and folks are not going to be doing all kind of stuff. Okay, just understand that. I just want to say that so that you're aware of it. Shout out to all of you that are watching. Please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. And if you're supporting the Madchurchdisease channel, please do so. The Cash App information is on the screen. I believe I need about 8 more of you guys, unless my time is I'm sorry, I need 7 more of you guys. Shout out to all of you supporting the channel. Thank y'all so much. I done flubbed up April's name. That is so funny. I'm gonna be laughing about this April like all night. I'm gonna be like, Marcellus, now you saw that big old E. Okay, anyway, let me calm down with my goofy self. Okay, so but he got caught in the car with an ankle monitor on with his last victim. He was brought on to the Larry Reid program. And don't worry, because I'm not going to read all of these court documents, so we ain't going to be here all night. This is just a synopsis. I just want to give y'all an update on what's going on. And good evening, Breezy. How do I want to say this? The man was caught with an ankle monitor on. He has a pattern of behavior, yet, ladies and gentlemen. He gets up on the and the picture you see on your screen in the middle is his mug shot. Okay, one of his mug shots. Now, the picture that you see on the side of him with the red shirt on, that was his comeback picture. Those were the pictures that they were gearing up to prepare for this new book release and new website and all this stuff that they thought they were going to be able to establish. But here is the thing. The internet is undefeated, because people will start to research and they will start to, listen and understand who's giving them this information. And I'm sorry to say this, you can have a difference of opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like me, but let's not pretend like facts are not facts. He is a tier 3 sex offender. This man came out giving us a story that TD Jakes tried to hug him and potentially kiss him. He said the man never even kissed him. He said it was a potential kiss. So all of this, ladies and gentlemen, on the internet has been about a hug and a potential kiss. Even all of the videos that all of us have made have been about a hug and a potential kiss. This man did a 2-part series on the Larry Reid Live platform about a hug and a potential kiss. And then when those of us on the internet who have a different way of seeing this address this, we were attacked, we were called names. I mean, it was just ridiculous. As adults, I mean, not most of us are way past our 30s. Some of us are now into our 50s. What the heck? Are you trying to tell me as a person of our age, we can't surmise information and come up to with a better conclusion than what we've been coming up with? It's very strange to me. You understand what I'm saying? And so I just really think that it behooves all of us to just take a pause, take your emotions out of the situation. And as adults, let's just have the conversation. Over here, let's just have the conversation. Now, you can get all into your emotions and get into all that name calling and all that other stuff in some other places. But over here, we're just going to read the documents and we're going to let the facts speak for themselves. It is what it is. You don't have to like me. But one thing about it, I have not told you anything that is wrong or inaccurate. And if I have, you are more than happy, willing to, I give you opportunity to come up here and address me and correct the record. Absolutely. I always do that. Okay, I'm not one of those vloggers. I'm not one of those vloggers who, just you got to believe everything I say. But let's move on because I'm about to get into this case. Okay. Okay. Well, sir, I don't know Conrad, and it sounds like you are I don't know where the moderators are, but I'm going to tell you, sir, that I'm not a loser. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love these people in the comments. They're so wonderful. I don't even know Conrad. Seriously, I don't even know who Conrad is. I always get lumped in with some guy named Conrad. Whoever you are, Conrad, wherever you are, wherever you may be, understand Madchurchdisease has much respect for you. If you're getting blamed as much as I'm getting blamed for stuff, God bless you, Conrad. I don't even know who Conrad is. Somebody say he used to be a caller that would call in a lot too. I don't even remember. So I don't even remember Conrad. But I thank you. And this is interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, let me move on. Let me add some stuff to the stage. And thank you so very much, whoever that was, because you just reminded me of why I don't really fool with a lot of these people on the internet. Oh, says before presenting, I got to remove the other object. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into these things. I don't know why I have to, I'm a loser. So I'm going to go ahead and lose right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm losing. I'm the loser over here. I'm the one who's the loser, but I'm not, people bringing tier 3 sex offenders up on a platform and misleading people and telling them all of these lies, but I'm the loser. Okay, sir, I'll take that if that's the way you feel, because guess what? None of this stuff means anything to me. What y'all say, it's gonna roll right off me. I'm built for this, and this is good. This is good stuff. This is content. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. I can't wait with my losing self. All right, this is the table of contents. Okay, this thing was so deep, you all. They had to have a whole table of contents like this. Table of authorities with their the case law that they cited. I'm just going on and I'm going on, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so they got all of this stuff in here that they led. Okay, so let's start with our introduction. And I told y'all I'm gonna jump around and I'm gonna be saying blah 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 a lot. Okay, and so all right, thank y'all so very much. All right, here's what it says. Defendant Dwayne Youngblood's motion to dismiss. Oh, you know what, let me pause for just a second. Why would somebody wait 10 minutes to subscribe to a channel to call somebody else a loser and just get the boot? Don't waste your time. Listen to me. There are so many other places where you can be. And so much other things you could be doing than to come up here and call me a loser. That was funny. And I thank you for that, because that's going to have me tickled all night. You really are. You're going to have me tickled. I don't even know Conrad. They keep bringing up this Conrad person. Can somebody find Conrad for me and invite him over here to this channel so we can have a proper introduction? I need to meet Conrad, because me and Conrad are forever getting thrown in together into some type of conversation. Who is Conrad? It's going to start to bother me. I'm going to have to start searching the internet to find this Conrad person. But anyway, let me go on. Oh, so funny. That's so funny. Defendant Dwayne Youngblood's motion to dismiss under Rule 12b-6, blah, 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 motion should be denied for many reasons. Now, listen at the attorney. The attorney said this should be denied for many reasons. First among them, most of the authority cited in his briefs is made up. Did y'all hear what they said? What did the lawyers say? Tyrone Blackburn, let's be clear. Tyrone Blackburn, in his motions, most of the authority that he stated and cited in his briefs, according to these attorneys, is made up. Now, I don't know if you all remember what I told y'all before, but I told y'all this man just be making this stuff up. And when the judge responded to him the last time, and I'm gonna tell y'all something, this is an indication that this is not gonna end well for Tyrone Blackburn and them. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm getting that feeling too. When the judge has to tell you that you left off whole parts of a case law, 9 times out of 10, you are not about to win in court. You're going to lose. And you're going to lose because you are trying on some level, in my opinion, to be somewhat unethical, because as an attorney, you don't get to just cite the bits and pieces of the law that you like. And that's what's going on with this Trump administration. Everybody's citing the bits and pieces that they like, and they're giving up the information that they like. And that's why certain things in this situation are going on. And it's kind of really sad. Okay. Now look what it said. It said most of the stuff that he did was made up. It says, I'm going to the dark parts. YoungBlood fabricates quotes from at least 8 cases, as well as many other holdings. In other words, it says he fabricated the information. That means he made it up, ladies and gentlemen. They're making this stuff up so they think that they can, it'll suit their case. And honestly, I'm going to tell you another reason why they're doing it. They're doing it to slow down and to bog down the judge and the court system, to slow this train down. Why? Because everybody's going to need to get their money up at this point. I'm telling you that right now. This don't take a prophetic message. This is simply making me communicate to you. All y'all better get y'all money up, because this TD Jakes' money is long, and you all are going to most certainly be found in court. Y'all on y'all way to court for real. You wanted to go to court? It's time to go to court. Y'all sending out $6 million request letters and all of this stupid stuff, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to court. Let's go to the highlighted black section. The counterfeit case law included this court's on April 25th, 2025 memorandum opinion, with YoungBlood's brief making false claims about its content in 4 separate sections. And then they said 19 through 23. Those sections invent remarks sharply critical of the complaint and attribute them to this court, which would strongly support his motion if only they were real. Oh Lord, I feel my help coming on. Oh Lord, you know what I heard right there? Real, Jesus is real to me. Oh yes, you know what? He gives me the victory. You know what? So many people doubt him, but I can't live without him. That is why I love him so, because he's so real to me. In the morning, he's real. Y'all remember that? Real. Am I too old? Jesus is real to me. I'm just saying. You can't keep fabricating stuff and making stuff up. That's the point. The point is you made all of this stuff up. I'm just saying. Come on, Lynn. Now, Lynn, I know you know that song. If don't nobody else know that song, I know you know it. So listen here. It says the misrepresentations in YoungBlood's motion to go further. He grossly misrepresents most of the cited cases. Blah, 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 blah. And claims that the complaint does not include factual allegations that it plainly does. Blah, 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 blah. He used specific words in his defamatory statements and so much more. Attached is a declaration from Bishop Jakes' counsel denoting in detail the serious issues identified within YoungBlood's motion, and then they tell you what to see. In reality, now listen what they had to tell you. Let's come back to reality. Back to life. Come on. Back to reality. Back to the here and now. Yeah. Y'all remember that? Oh man, I could slide across this floor right now. Because these people don't be in reality. They just don't be. They don't be in reality. They make stuff up all the time on other vloggers. Wait a minute. Let me put myself up on the screen. These people be making up stuff. Stuff don't even be in reality. They just be making it up. Just making it up. It's so sad, but it is really, really true. It really is true. And you know, they could take anything and create a narrative. Well, Pharaoh family, you just wait. You in my juke joint. I'll sing all I want to. This is my house. Understand? All right. This is my house. Come on, Pharaoh. I'm sorry, Pharaoh, but this is my house. We have fun over here and we discuss things. And I only come on once a day. I'm not on 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 times a day. Okay. All right. So give me a little room, Pharaoh. Give me a little room, man. These people are so funny. In reality, the complaint more than adequately pleads each and every necessary element for his defamation and conspiracy claims. It is unclear whether the motion to dismiss is the product of a fever dream. Listen here. The lawyers say Tyrone Blackburn had a hot flash. Listen here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Pharaoh. That's why I'm laughing. I get it. People, you listen. I'm cool. Trust me. We cool. We good. This is what the attorney said, y'all. The attorney said that Tyrone Blackburn had a fever. Oh Lord. He gives him fever, fever in the morning, fever at night. I'm just saying, let me hush. Let me hush for Pharaoh get me kicked off of the internet. Hold on, let me go. It is unclear whether the motion to dismiss, let me go back. I'm sorry. I am cracking up at this. This is so stupid. Motion to dismiss is the product of a fever dream generated through improper use of AI software. Tyrone Blackburn. Oh Lord. Listen here, Tyrone. They own the you, pal. I told you that cut and paste ministry you got on these legal documents was gonna come back to haunt you. I'm just saying. If you've been following my channel, hold on. Y'all remember I told y'all he was cutting and pasting. I'm like, no, because some of this stuff is just not right. Some of this stuff is just not right. The lawyers say he done use AI. He done use Chat GPT. He done use Claude or Gemini to write this stuff. Thank you so much, Darlene. I appreciate it. Oh God. Y'all, I can't breathe. Y'all got to calm down. This is all y'all fault. Y'all got me laughing over here. Cut it out, y'all. I'm blaming every single one of y'all. The lawyers say he used AI. Okay, calm down. Okay. He said, regardless of the two, YoungBlood's motion is without legal or factual merit. His perversions of the cited case law and record in this case must be ignored and accounted for. In other words, sir, you all need to pay the price for the bull that you done did and the stupid stuff that you done said. You got to pay the price for the stuff that you done said. That's bottom line to what they're trying to tell you right here. Okay. All right. And the motion should be denied so that Bishop Jakes can proceed with proving his case and vindicating his name. Okay. YoungBlood appeared and they go into the Larry Reid, the show entitled The Abused Becomes the Abuser, in which Reid interviewed YoungBlood, blah, 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 blah. We all know that stuff. Now let's pay attention to this. During that interview, YoungBlood falsely accused Bishop Jakes of grooming and sexually abusing him when YoungBlood was 18 or 19 years old. Y'all remember when I told you that that Dwayne YoungBlood couldn't get these years right? On one instance, he would say he was this age, and then in another instance, he would say he was another age because he was lying through his teeth and they couldn't get this story straight. And in my opinion, and this is what happens when people tell lies like this, because you're not going to be able to keep all of this stuff straight. The problem with a lot of these people is they just don't know how to be authentic. You understand what I'm saying? It is what it is, you all. It is what it is. You can be mad at me all you want. I'm a loser. I'll agree with you tonight. I'm the loser. I don't know Conrad, but wherever Conrad is, may the Lord bless him and keep him. Because obviously it sounds like Conrad has some sense. And because y'all keep lumping me and Conrad together, Conrad must be smart. That's all I know. In making those false accusations, YoungBlood told a specific story about how Jakes got up from the table. He walked around the table. He walked around toward the way. I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that part? Okay. Then he talked about an alleged phone call. We all know that, but blah, 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 blah. If y'all are unfamiliar, I got a whole playlist of all of these court documents. You can watch them on the channel. It's a whole playlist of everything that I done read through. Okay. This is stuff that we over here at the Madchurchdisease channel, we already know that. So So that is, it is what it is here. The second one is, if you can't sleep with anybody else, I don't want you to give my wife anything, blah, blah, blah. Y'all remember he said that stuff too. All right. He described these encounters as causing him absolute destructive sexual damage. So a potential kiss caused him absolute destructive sexual damage. And that was so extremely damaging. And finally, YoungBlood described another alleged conversation years later wherein he claimed Jake said that his stock was rising and I would have sex with anybody at the time. Y'all remember when he said that? Blah, 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 blah. Now, as of the date of the complaint, over 120,000 people have viewed Larry Reid Live's October 28th interview of YoungBlood. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all a question. I want to take a pause here for just a question. With my loser self, let me... Let me ask y'all a question. If Larry Reid was really genuine about taking those videos down and coming online trying to say and talk so humbly about removing videos, do y'all think he would leave those videos up of Manasseh Jordan and TD Jakes? If he really was serious, wouldn't he just take those down? He wouldn't need anybody to call him, right? For him to take those videos down, right? If y'all are texting me, y'all know what? I gotta open up my phone because my phone is pinging and dinging and I don't know who's texting me. Okay. If y'all talking to me, I don't know if y'all talking to me. All right, because this phone is hopping. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. But if he was really serious, would he have to even ask? Wouldn't he just take him down? I'm just saying. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on. They talk about on November the 3rd, he's set for the second interview, blah, 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 blah. I told you I wasn't reading through all of this, and this is going to be a blah, blah, blah ministry night because we already at 51 minutes. I do have something that I want to read, though. YoungBlood made it clear that he was accusing Bishop Jakes of actual or attempted sexual assault, blah, 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 blah. YoungBlood's false statements to Reid on November the 3rd were viewed at the time of this complaint was filed by more than 25,000 people. The events described by YoungBlood, from the encounter around the dining room table to the subsequent conversations with Jakes, never happened. I want y'all to understand something. Bishop Jakes is saying to you flat out that this never happened. Okay, never happened. And I told you, just based on how this was written and the whole contriving of how all of this stuff is being done, I'm in agreement. It is my humble opinion that this just doesn't make any sense. This whole story is, in my opinion, is fabricated. And I think they saw TD Jakes in a very vulnerable state in time with this P. Diddy situation, and they decided that they wanted to do a pile-on. And the pile-on got these men a lawsuit. And I just think it's disgusting. I don't even like TD Jakes like that. I'm not, everybody who knows my channel, y'all know I have issues with some of the things that TD Jakes have said about Jesus. I don't like it. Calling Jesus the product and all this other stuff. And I know how some of y'all comment about that when I talk about it, but let's just be frank. Some of this stuff that these evangelicals and these televangelists, they've crossed some major lines here in America. That's just my opinion. But, it's not right for you to come out here and say this stuff about this man knowing full darn well you're lying. And then, Larry, I think you're the dumb one. Instead of calling TD Jakes dumb, I think you're the dumb one for bringing this man on your platform who is a tier 3 registered sex offender and trying to get one of America's foremost preachers tied up in all of your foolishness. And you always love to brag and to talk about how many subscribers you have. Now, look how these subscribers are coming back to haunt you in this lawsuit. Look how it's coming back to haunt you. Okay. Now, it says, tellingly in these interviews, YoungBlood was caught lying specifically about his own prior criminal history, falsely claiming that his 2015 conviction was the result of his communicating with minors in violation of his parole, when in fact, his violation was for improperly touching 2 teen victims during counseling sessions and engaging in a 3-week-long essay abuse of another teenage victim. Did you hear what I said? Ha, tabasa, speak in tongues now. Arita bato, arita bata, aruta baduki. And in the $6 million demand letter, YoungBlood's lawyer sent to Bishop Jakes, YoungBlood's own contradiction. Lord, don't do that. I'm sorry. I got a little bit of a download. I'm sorry. Y'all forgive me. YoungBlood's own contradictions were again on display, claiming that he was under 18 during these alleged encounters rather than the ages he used in the interviews. So even the lawyers are pointing out what I pointed out before was the fact that he could not even get the ages straight. That's all I'm saying. The man just made this up, y'all. He made this up. That's horrible. And yes, Breezy, and that's who they're trying to protect, which is really weird to me. It's weird. This man's supposed to be, he claims to be the most integral vlogger on the internet, and he brought a tier 3 sex offender on his platform to say this mess. And he didn't think he was supposed to get no pushback whatsoever. He just thinks people were just supposed to buy this bull. Okay. And then all of the rest of us are not on his level. Can I say it like Larry? Not on his level. Y'all remember he was screeching level. Y'all remember when he was hollering like that? Okay. As a result of YoungBlood's false accusations to Reid and his audiences, and of the conspiracy enacted by YoungBlood and others to target and attack him, Bishop Jakes has suffered millions of dollars in personal harm. Whew, shatarabasi. He said millions of dollars. And I do believe it. You know how I know he suffered? Because that deal that he had on the table with Wells Fargo that was worth $1 billion. Y'all remember they done pull that deal, right? So it's not millions of dollars. Technically, it's $1 billion. It's really technically $1 billion. I don't know if Wells Fargo and those folks have came back to continue that business relationship, but I do know they pulled back from that $1 billion deal that he had with them. And it's around the same time that this darn case and all these accusations and all this foolishness went on. His philanthropic missions have been put in jeopardy. He endured specific emotional and physical harm, including a severe medical crisis and much more. And they go into details as far as that is concerned. It says, although YoungBlood is technically in default because he failed to answer the complaint in the time allowed by the federal rules and cannot rely on any of its standard trolling positions, Bishop Jakes has not yet sought entry of default. For now, he opposes YoungBlood's motion for the reasons that are set forth below. And he lists the legal standards. They go into the legal standards. Okay, and then they go, this is all legal stuff. A blah, 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 a blah, 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 a blah, blah, blah. One of the things that they mention here, ladies and gentlemen, is first when YoungBlood was 18 or 19 years age, after sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally looked at my watch and I'm like, oh goodness, I gotta go. Y'all remember when he said that? Lord, help me stop laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing so much. You know why I'm laughing? Because this is so dumb. This is so dumb. I've been watching. Let me take a personal break just for a second. I've been watching all of these preachers on the internet and all these prophets and all these people fighting on the internet. Y'all listen to me. This stuff is dumb. It's so stupid. Now you want to talk about dumb. This is really dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. It's so dumb. TD Jakes shouldn't even have to respond to this stuff. It's so stupid, but it's costing him thousands of dollars. This is really stupid. You know, and all because this man wanted to come on the internet and tell this ridiculous story. This is ridiculous. Then he said, secondly, YoungBlood falsely claimed that Jakes called him the next day. So he's saying that's a lie too. Third, YoungBlood ended his story by claiming that there is so much more to me and Bishop Jakes and my family and Bishop Jakes and the absolute destructive sexual damage, but this thing was so extremely damaging. Fourth, YoungBlood stated that he once confronted Jakes and asked him, why did you do what you did? Now, here's the thing about preachers and games that they play with language. Why you did what you did is not specific. That's ambiguous. And that's the same way George Bloomer addressed Jimmy Battles. When Jimmy is addressing him, I'm so sorry that happened to you. What happened to me, Negro? Why won't you acknowledge what you did? Because see, this is why I don't believe most of these people are repentant and they don't understand what true repentance is. True repentance is about acknowledging our sin and not acknowledging the things that we've done wrong and then changing our minds about it. Because guess what? You can't change your mind about your life until you make a decision about turning from whatever it is that you feel like the Holy Spirit is convicting you of. You're never going to be able to turn from it unless you admit to it and get an understanding about it in your mind. That's all I'm saying. Now and this whole stock is rising thing, that was the other thing. Then fifth, during the November 3rd 24 episode, when pressed to further describe how his allegation that Bishop Jakes violated or groomed him was predatory in nature by Reid, YoungBlood said, when it comes to Jakes, when I was sharing the story the other day, I am just running through the story, but I want to make sure people are very clear. I said that we're sitting at the dining room table, and I looked at my watch and said, I've got to get up and I've got to get out of here because I've got to get my mother's car back. But what may have been misunderstood is that Bishop Jakes got up, came around the table, and positioned himself in the corner that I had to walk past. When I was walking past the corner, he grabbed me. There is no reason, if you are going to just give me a hug as we are leaving, go to the door with me and let's hug it out and then let me go out the door. We are not at the door. We are still in the dining room and he is in the corner. Grabbed me to himself, looked down into my face, and then tried to bend his head down to kiss me on my lips. That's what he said. That is not a you didn't get what you wanted to get. Okay. He then said that Jakes was forcing his position, his idea onto YoungBlood. Okay. So I'm just saying, let's keep it going. Let's go on. He says he does not quote or paraphrase. Then it says here, without supplying the precise language, the speaker, or context. So, just like I said just a minute ago, most of this stuff that these people are saying is so ambiguous, it's going to leave you out there to think whatever. And it's the same way, in my opinion, that Larry was talking about Manasseh Jordan. A lot of that stuff was so ambiguous, you wouldn't know what to think. You wouldn't know what to think. They throw so much stuff up in the air. You're just like, oh, okay. You're going to sit in your mind and start to recall this stuff. And then you're going to start assuming things. Now, let me tell you something that I've learned about this internet. And I'm getting better with this internet stuff. The Lord is helping me. He really, really is. Y'all listen to me. When these vloggers throw stuff out there and just leave stuff in the air, they know that you're going to formulate your own conclusion. And they do it because many of you are going to formulate your own conclusion. And then you're going to start saying things that never happened, that never transpired. And you're going to get in the comment section and you're going to be saying things like, Madchurchdisease left a baby at the firehouse wrapped in swaddling clothes. I ain't never left no baby, but they'll tell a story or they'll create a narrative. And next thing you know, you got 20,000 narratives being said about you. Come on, let's talk, ladies and gentlemen. We all grown over here. That's how you get to TD Jakes in a thong holding on to a peach cobbler. That's how you get to TD Jakes riding on the back of a motorcycle or whatever the lie they told. It's been so many lies, I can't keep up with this stuff. But this is how you're able to get all of these different stories, because they just throw out something and they don't end it, or they don't give you any precise language so that you can formulate your own opinion about it. And in some of these people's mind, they just make it up. Just like they done made up this thing about me and Conrad. I don't even know who Conrad is. I swear I don't know who Conrad is. I am going to investigate. If you know Conrad, this is my PCA announcement, my public service announcement. If you can find Conrad to me, can y'all introduce me to Conrad? Somebody find Conrad for me, because now I want to meet Conrad, because they done lumped me and Conrad together for so long. I don't even know this man, but he must be smart, because they obviously got something against Conrad. I don't know what it is, but they said we was in cahoots together. I don't know how we was in cahoots, and I don't even know Conrad. Well, that's just like they said I Am Human First and me was the same person. Y'all know they said that on they said I Am Human First and I are the same people, which we are not. But I think that's hilarious. Right. And you're correct, Sean. He had all of this proof of this and all of this proof of that, and nobody to this day has seen nothing. Moving right along, blah, 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 blah. But YoungBlood does not just misrepresent the record of the contents of the complaint to erroneously claim that Bishop Jakes has not identified YoungBlood's defamatory statements. For example, he cites blah, 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 blah. And they go into it, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. The complaint alleges that the events YoungBlood describes never occurred. He made them up. That is exactly what the case is stating here, ladies and gentlemen. From start to finish, that is his position. Okay. All right. Let's move on. The complaint alleges facts suggesting that YoungBlood knew his story was false at the time that he gave the interview. The circumstances of this case vividly demonstrate that YoungBlood knew he was lying about Bishop Jakes when he fabricated his stories about Bishop T.D. Jakes. And I'm going to go a little bit step further here. I think all of the people that had him over there on that platform knew that he was lying. I believe they knew he was lying. I really do. I believe that. I'm just saying. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. The actual malice injury asks whether the defendant published a false statement with knowledge that it was false or with reckless disregard for the truth. If you tell these people out here that T.D. Jakes called you, because if y'all remember correctly, over here, I think y'all will remember correctly, his first version of this story, T.D. Jakes called him from a bubble bath. Let's not forget that. He heard the water dripping. Y'all notice how that whole story changed? Lord, I'm working too hard over here. Blah, 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 blah. Let's keep going. Because y'all remember that's what he said. He said T.D. Jakes called him from a bubble bath. I'm just saying. Let's move on because there's something else I want to get to. Here, the evidence of actual malice paints a compelling picture. When he appeared on LRL, YoungBlood had recently completed a multi-year prison term and needed to build a new life. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand when it comes to these two pictures on the side with him with this red shirt on. This was the plan. In my opinion, this was the plan. This was to forge an opportunity for him to come out, to reinvent himself, and for folks to just fall in line with this ridiculous story. And I just want to tell you, Dwayne YoungBlood, really, personally, from me to you, bro, if you really were, which I don't believe, but if this really did happen to you, you went on the wrong person's platform to tell this story. Because the person's platform that you went on allegedly had things said about him and young men as well. And so you went on the wrong platform. And to all of you that are so afraid of me and St. James and some of these other content creators, because you think we're wild cards and we don't know our job, I would really suggest that you look at some of the other interviews that I have done on this channel. You might want to check those out because, I'm pretty good at what I do. And I just want to tell you, I probably would have been able to elevate your story and get your story understood better than anything that was put out on the internet and that we've seen. And some of you who have stories, who are waiting in the wings to talk about your case and your stories, y'all need to stop thinking that the larger the platform, the better the message is going to be conveyed or go out. It has nothing to do with the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. It has everything to do with the person who is conducting the interview. It has everything to do with the person who's conducting the interview. The person who's conducting the interview must have a little bit of integrity. The person who's conducting the interview might need to be respected by some people. If I'm going to tell y'all the truth, don't nobody out here in these real YouTube streets respect no Larry Reid. Not the folks that are over here and around this peripheral of our quote unquote sector. People don't respect him. Not at all. They know who he is. They tolerate him. You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, as far as respect is concerned, in my humble opinion, these people don't respect Larry. Larry's a joke. We go over there to watch the train wreck. Everybody goes to watch the train wreck. And let me correct this. We don't go over there. Y'all go over there. And it's okay because you grown. You can go where you want. But here's the thing. It proves to be malice and so forth. And that's what he's saying. Blah, blah, blah. There was one of his substantial motives for fabricating his claims about Jakes, and they list the case law for that. But a few weeks later, his more sinister motives were revealed. He, with the help of others, dispatched a lawyer to demand $6 million from Bishop Jakes, or else he would sue for unspecified, non-existent tort claims arising from the tale. And then they Cite the case law. Okay. Holding the court correctly considered newspapers' profit motive in the actual malice analysis. To effectuate those goals, YoungBlood fabricated a first-hand account of Jake's trying to kiss him and making suggestive remarks. Because YoungBlood claims to have personally witnessed conduct that never occurred, the lies about Jake's were necessarily made with actual malice. Okay. And so that's what they're asserting there. Okay. Now, you all do know that in the court cases, one of the most difficult things to prove is malice. It's really hard to prove that. And so I'm going to leave that up into the air because I'm not a lawyer, but I do know, just based on my past experience and working for the disability group and some other attorneys, I would simply tell you that proving malice is very hard. That's hard. But I'm not going to get into the case law because, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. Y'all going to need to lean on some other people for that. But they talk about the events were false, blah, 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 blah. And they cite the case law for that. Okay. Now, the allegations are wrong. It says key contradictions in the story also show that the tale is fabricated. Now, let me tell y'all, I agree with that 1000%, because let me just tell you flat out, if you can't keep your story straight, it really starts to make it think that your story has been fabricated. I'm just saying. This is some reading rainbow stuff, isn't it? Isn't it reading rainbow? Don't y'all think so? I told you, it's butterflies in the sky. We can all fly twice as high. Take a look. It's in this book. It's all reading rainbow. On Larry Reid Live, YoungBlood stated that he was 18 or 19 for his story, but then in a subsequent letter and counsel demanding money, YoungBlood changed the story to make himself a minor, said he was a minor, stating he was just 17 years old. Okay? This type of contradiction suggests either an intentional lie or at least a reckless disregard for the truth, which I 1000% agree. The complaint alleged that YoungBlood published statements about Bishop Jakes that they traveled widely and that they inflicted grievous harm. So they're trying to say that he didn't, that lie, he was trying to say he didn't even travel with the man. Okay, so that was also some lies according to them as well. So they go on into this part about the grooming aspect of it, blah, 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 blah. The episode themselves on their face show that YoungBlood made false accusations, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go here. It says, moreover, Larry Reid Live airs live and is available on demand and YouTube, where it has over 150,000 subscribers. Big up to Larry Reid for his 150,000 subscribers. They're surely going to help you in this case. Both episodes went viral with at least 120,000 views for part 1 and over 25,000 views for part 2. So not only did YoungBlood relay these false accusations to Reid himself, but he also knowingly to Reid's more than 150,000 YouTube subscribers. In short, it is beyond dispute that YoungBlood published his false and defamatory accusations about Jakes. And then they go into all of that. Blah, 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 blah. All right, now. It says Bishop Jakes in his profession as a trusted pastor and religious figure, and accuses Bishop Jakes of engaging in unlawful conduct. That makes them liable per se, and they cite the case law there, okay? Which is obviously defamatory, such as when it imputes business misconduct or serious sexual misconduct. Indeed, YoungBlood's accusations are as damaging and damning as anyone can make about a prominent pastor or spiritual leader. And YoungBlood's lies did harm to Jake's reputation, philanthropic mission, and his emotional and physical well-being, even suffering a severe medical crisis as a result. Let me tell y'all this, and I'm gonna say this again. If y'all out there in television world and YouTube world, and y'all think that TD Jakes was faking this whole time, I want y'all to hear me very carefully. Good for TD Jakes, because it was very convenient and it's going to help him in this lawsuit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think the man has stepped down from his church. I don't think he's losing all of this weight, and I don't think he's doing all of this stuff because he was faking it. I do believe that he suffered a medical crisis, and it's this particular situation. I think it could have been brought on by the lies in this particular case. So you can miss me with that one. Y'all can say whatever you want. Whether he faked it or not, it's going to work in his favor because y'all had no business putting this crap out here. First, Jakes did plead facts showing emotional and reputational harm. Blah, 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 blah. And he goes into that. Second, when an accusation is defamatory per se, it is considered so obviously harmful that the reputational harm is presumed. It is presumed. It is presumed. Keep that word in mind. It is presumed. That is, that is key to there, because one of the things that I've learned in some of these cases too, they use a term called reasonable and customary. If you over here at this channel, y'all know I use that word a lot when I talk about some of these types of legal cases. When they use the word reasonable and customary, it is only to assume that one who has the cognitive skills. Now, understand what I'm saying here, because not everybody can think. Some people just don't know how to think. And that's why they'll go saying a whole bunch of stuff because other vloggers are talking about it, and they'll try to defend a certain, the indefensible. Okay. Because cognitively, it is reasonable and customary for certain people to assume certain things about a situation just based upon a cognitive reasoning ability. Did y'all hear what I said? Come on, y'all. Now, y'all smart over here, and I know y'all smart. So it is reasonable and customary for one to believe certain things in a scenario based upon how the information has been presented. And so what they're saying to you, it is only reasonable and customary for us to understand that it was false allegations because of how he has said these allegations, how he has changed his story, and also that there is a presumed consideration of harm because of how this information has been presented. That's all I'm saying. Moving right along. Blah, 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 blah. Moving right on. It says section 8343 apportions the burdens of proof for issues that can arise in a defamation case. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's keep it moving. In the sum, the complaint more than adequately pleads each and every element of the defamation, and YoungBlood's arguments are nothing more than red herrings and demonstrate the extent to which YoungBlood has gone to try to avoid accountability for his false accusations. Blah, blah, blah. And I just want to take a point of privilege here and just tell you, I believe that Dwayne YoungBlood, just based on his past behavior and being a tier 3 sex offender, has shown a life of demonstrating his extent to avoid accountability and also avoid the law. You don't go to jail with an ankle monitor on and get caught with some young man because you're trying to abide by the law. And even after so, ladies and gentlemen, when he responded in this case and he had to list out, and he's tried to list out the reasons why he went to jail, he didn't even take accountability then. So even after coming out of prison, this man, in my opinion, is still not taking accountability for his actions. He's making excuses for his actions in order to excuse away what cannot be excused away. And let me just say this to any vlogger who is listening and watching this. You cannot excuse the man's past away. You cannot excuse what he has done away. And people say, well, wait a minute. Aren't we supposed to forgive people? And how long are we supposed to hold people hostage? You hold people hostage as long as they exemplify the destructive behavior that lands them in court for coming up with a cockamamie story. Let me tell you right now, in my opinion, this man has still not, just based on these court records, has not shown or exemplified taking accountability for his actions and making sure that he is not continue to make false claims. That is just my opinion. I'm sorry. You don't go on a podcast and blame a man for almost kissing you and you almost dying and call that taking accountability. No, you made this up, sir. I'm sorry. You made it up. And you just made it up. It is what it is. I don't believe you. And the majority of people who have cognitive reasoning skills don't believe you either. Now, they might be over in some other people's chat and supporting the foolishness for people going after us for talking about it. But let me be very clear with you. The people that's in that chat and that's over there, they don't believe you either. They know the truth. They know the truth. And I know y'all know the truth because y'all not stupid. Y'all not stupid. You're not stupid. I understand you. If somebody don't like us and you don't like me for whatever reason, you don't like me, you going over there just to support and get your cackle on, because they're going to call me egghead and all kind of stuff. I get told some stuff all the time about some of this stuff. They're going to talk about my clothes and all that stuff, which means nothing. My clothes don't have nothing to do with this man demonstrating a pattern of behavior and being a tier 3 sex offender. Talk about me as much as you please. Okay. It is what it is. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. I promise you I can. Moving on. YoungBlood attempted to dismiss the civil conspiracy claim like his attempt to dismiss the defamation claim relies heavily on counterfeit case law and erroneous statements of law and facts, and should fail for those reasons alone. But then they go into some other stuff. Regardless, blah, 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 blah. Let's move on. The tort underlining the conspiracy claim is defamation. YoungBlood argues that the complaint does not plead an actionable underlining tort for the reasons noted above. Jake's defamation claim, the argument utterly fails. Tellingly, in an effort to convince the court that there is some sort of plausible basis for this argument, YoungBlood's motion again manufactures case law and precedent. For example, and they listed out blah, 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 blah. The problem that the case was not at all a conspiracy claim. The Third Circuit did not opine on any conspiracy claim, and it certainly did not dismiss any such claim. So according to T.D. Jakes' attorney, the problem with what was submitted by Tyrone Blackburn is that the case law he quoted was not at all a conspiracy claim at all. And what did I tell y'all about Tyrone Blackburn? What did I tell y'all? I told y'all something is wrong with this situation, in my humble opinion. He's just stalling, I think. This is all a stall tactic. What are y'all doing? Y'all wanted to go to court. I don't understand now why everybody wanted everything dismissed when you originally sent him a legal letter saying that you wanted $6 million or you were going to take him to court. So T.D. Jakes said, okay, let's everybody go to court. Tyrone, I'm confused by this. Sir, are these things that this lawyer is saying about your case and your situation true, Tyrone? Because according to him, he says the problem is the case was not even a conspiracy claim that you claim, and the law and the portion of the law that you used. I'm just asking a question, and I would ask this question of anybody. I really would. I would ask this question of anybody. All right, blah, 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 blah. The complaint pleads clearly that YoungBlood and his other co-conspirators agreed to launch a defamation campaign to attack Bishop Jakes. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we have co-conspirators, and we're going to talk about one of those co-conspirators here in just a moment. And I'm here to tell you that's where we're going to hang our hat on tonight, and then we're going to get the heck on up out of here. In arguing that there was no agreement between him and his co-conspirators, YoungBlood makes his legal support out of thin air. Pulled it, oh Lord, well, this is in the Bible. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, he pulled it out of his ass. That's what they're trying to say. It came right out of there. Ladies and gentlemen, he bent right over and pulled that one right out of his and I think just like they came up with this story, that's where everything came from. They pulled it right from their butt. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. This is something else. Whoo, Lord, help me, Jesus. In arguing that there is no agreement between him and his co-conspirator. So they said exactly 0 of his cases in this section have anything to do with conspiracy claims, specifically the Franklin, Prescriptions, Blackwell, and Romano cases. And then they go ahead and list that, and they say for that his argument fails. Regardless, plaintiff clearly alleges that YoungBlood and at least the host. Now, this is where you got to pay attention. Ba-da-da-dum. All right, I'm going to take a pause here just for a second. If you're supporting the Madchurchdisease channel, please make sure you do so, because this is where we're about to get into it, okay? We're going to get into it. Okay? Let me just take a moment, because I don't want to, I want to see if I can acknowledge the people. April, thank you. Pamela, thank you. I believe what we see we need 7. So I think we need like 6 more people. So I need at least 6 more people to support the show with at least $10 tonight, and we will of course met our budget for the night. Thank y'all so much. And y'all notice I don't go into no long drawn out thing because I trust y'all, especially for those of you that love the platform. So I trust y'all, and y'all do good, so I don't never have to spend 35 minutes asking. So thank y'all so very much for your support. You know what I want to do? First of all, I want to get me some water here, and then we're going to read this last part, and then I'm going to be done. Y'all stick with me for just one minute. I'm going to be back in 1 minute. Welcome to the Madchurchdisease channel, a channel dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Want to stay connected to me and the Madchurchdisease community? Well, then join our email community newsletter. Stay in the know with all the updates and fresh content that is created for this channel. It's time you join the private community for the revolutionary family, where we can talk and laugh all in a space that's safe with a no judgment zone. Connect with other members and build lasting friendships. The doors are now open. Want to stay connected and be notified each time I go live? Subscribe to the text community and be notified each time that we go live. Simply add your details for instant updates on all our lives. Are you a budding YouTuber or business professional who would like my thoughts on all things business related? Book a free 15-minute consultation where I can help with social media, YouTube, web design, and so much more. Book your consultation now and build your future. Get away from the rat race and build your business. Whether you know it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I can help you in a myriad of ways, especially with social media and other things. You're welcome to book a free consultation with me. The links will be in the description below, and the moderators, of course, will put that information in there for you as well. I want you all to know something. It just kind of dawned on me when I took the break. You know, when we started talking about this, Larry called us all kind of names. He called us the YouTube uploaders. He just went down this whole diatribe, calling us all these names, much like the people that came in the chat today and called me. I forget what they called me exactly, because see, that's how much it rolled off my back. I don't even remember. Anybody remember? Oh, he called me a loser. That's what. That's what he called me. He called me a loser. Me and Conrad. So y'all better help me find Conrad. I ain't lying. Y'all good. Somebody need to help me find Conrad. I'm bring Conrad over here to this platform, and I'm going to ask Conrad, how did me and him get lumped up together? Because I don't know. And I was told that Larry told them people that me and Conrad was in cahoots. And I remember being in Timothy Blaine. Was it Timothy Blaine's live one time? Yes, I think it was Timothy Blaine. And me and Larry and Kendall and all of them was over there arguing back and forth. And Larry gonna tell me, talking about I was in cahoots with Conrad. I don't even know who Conrad is. I swear to you guys, I don't know who Conrad is. So y'all help me find Conrad. Somebody go find Conrad. I want to know Conrad. So send the word out. I'm saying, if you Conrad and you out there and you're not afraid to come back and talk to me, Conrad, I promise you I won't disrespect you in any way. I just need to know who you are. People saying that we in cahoots and I don't even know who you are. I would love to talk to you, Conrad. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless of plaintiff clearly alleges that Dwayne, that YoungBlood, and at least the host LRL, Larry Reid, pay attention, acted jointly to develop and launch the YouTube series beginning with the October 28th episode, which specifically aimed to publicly the attack on Jakes that falsely claimed he tried to groom and essay YoungBlood. And they did to destroy Bishop Jakes' reputation, his public image, and to line their own pockets on the back of knowingly false and defamatory attacks, including and primarily the extorting millions of dollars from Bishop Jakes directly. I want you to pay very much attention to that statement, ladies and gentlemen. In other words, according to this document, TD Jakes' attorneys are alleging that Larry Reid of the Larry Reid Live Show acted jointly to develop this series and made knowingly false claims against Bishop T.D. Jakes. They are naming him, and they are clearly communicating to you all who worked in concert with each other in order to make these false claims. So, Larry, I want you to listen to me very carefully. That stupid statement that you made talking about, I did my job and now I'm going to back away and good luck to you, young blood. No, sir. Bring yourself front and center, Larry. You got some explaining to do. First, YoungBlood and at least Reid, the host of the principal of the YouTube show that gave YoungBlood the platform to attack Bishop Jakes, acted jointly to develop and launch the October 28th show titled The Abused Becomes the Abuser. That specifically aimed a public attack at Bishop Jakes, thereby endorsing the false accusations. Second, at least Reid and YoungBlood acted jointly to further their common purpose by launching the second LRL episode on November the 3rd, titled The Abused Became the Abuser, Part 2. Here again, Reid is no mere interviewer. He endorses and extracts from YoungBlood the false details about Jakes he wanted for his show. So they're letting you know right then and there that the lawyers are alleging that Larry Reid extrapolated out of YoungBlood the salaciousness of the story in order to help build his platform. So you understand something, Larry, for all of this stuff that you accuse all the rest of us of being, according to these attorneys, no, sir, you did those things. You interviewed this man, according to T.D. Jakes' attorneys, and tried to extrapolate from YoungBlood all of this salacious stuff so that you could build your platform. So calling all of the rest of us clout chasers and we ain't on your level. I'm so glad, Larry, I'm not on your level. I'm so glad I'm not on your level. Because according to Lester Petier, if I was on your level comes with some medication, and your level comes with an inability to tell the truth. Can somebody type prep in the chat? That's what Lester Petier said. That's what the man said. I'm just repeating what the man said. Okay? All right. I'm not on your level, Larry. You are 1000% correct, Larry. All I do is commentate. I don't fabricate. I commentate. Let the church say amen. Let the church say amen. I commentate. I don't fabricate. Okay? Because you told us that we were fabricating when we told you about Leandria Andrews. You said the house wasn't built and all kinds of stuff. You was lying through your teeth and you just kept right on lying. I'm just saying. Here again, Reid is no mere interviewer. He endorses and extracts from YoungBlood. For example, at the beginning of the November 3rd episode, Reid specifically tells YoungBlood to explain how Jakes' conduct was predatory in nature. This sets the stage for YoungBlood to weave a story about being pushed into a corner by Jakes, unlike the prior narrative that did not include any touching at all, which then allows Reid to say Bishop Jakes violated and groomed you, all while attempting to add credibility to YoungBlood's accusations by stating that YoungBlood feels honest to him. Now, wait a minute. Didn't Larry say he was a prophet of God? And a tier 3 sex offender felt honest to Larry Reid. Ladies and gentlemen, and I mean no disrespect to those of you that are in the chat, don't get too upset with me by this statement. Please don't. Please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. But I want y'all to think for just a second tonight. If Larry's judgment told him that Dwayne YoungBlood felt honest to him, what does that say about Larry's judgment? Forget the fact that he's claiming to be a prophet and all of this other stuff. What does that say about his judgment as an individual? What does that say about him? Would you want to go into business with somebody who has the judgment of a man who says that a tier 3 sex offender felt honest to him? What felt honest about a man who was caught in a car with his pants down with an ankle monitor on his ankle? What felt honest about him? Okay, let's forget Dwayne YoungBlood, because I know some of you like, well, Marcellus, that's Dwayne YoungBlood. Okay, what felt honest about Rosalind Weems? Can we talk, ladies and gentlemen, tonight? Let's just have a grown-up conversation. We friends tonight, you and me. I know you in the bushes and you refuse to hit the like button and you don't want to subscribe because somebody gonna hold you to a digital wall. But I want you to hold on to me tonight. Hang on, because nobody's gonna talk about this the way I'm gonna talk about it. What about Larry Reid says to you, good judgment? What would make you come up out of your pocket and give somebody thousands of dollars? Does this display for you good judgment, ladies and gentlemen? Now, some people can make the appearance that they have good judgment because they can put together a well-crafted package and present it to the public and pretend to be something that they're not. But eventually, deep down in your heart, you know clearly who these individuals are. You just don't want to acknowledge it, because if you acknowledge it, that means you give credence to the fact that Madchurchdisease and some other vloggers have clearly communicated to you what it is, and you would have to just admit it. And unfortunately, I realize some of you, just for the sake of who we are, you don't want to admit it. I'm just saying. So you're going to keep traveling down the road of dishonesty and unintegral people, and people who are uncouth, who call people on their own private phones and play games with other adults. And you're going to go down this road and pretend like this man is the ultimate icon of integrity. Really? As an adult who pays bills and mortgages and rent every month, you're gonna let this into your psyche as a grown-up. Okay, let's move on. I'm gonna give you one more example of him being having very good judgment. That salamander with that long back, Andrea Garrison. Yeah. Y'all remember her? Y'all remember the lies that she told that took a whole man's ministry down? And when she was lying the whole time, and we came over here and had to prove to you that she was lying. Guess what? I found out later from someone that allegedly Larry knew she was lying. Now that's alleged, because I don't know if that's completely true, but I believe it is. That's just my opinion. Because how easy was it for us to find out that she was lying? He was over there with that woman for over a year. I found that out with less than 6 months. Let me tell you something. I discovered Rosalind Weems was a crook by doing a Google search. I did a Google search and found out Rosalind Weems was a crook. How are you trying to tell me that Larry exemplifies good judgment if he didn't have well enough judgment to do just a Google search to make sure that the person that he was bringing into his Patreon was not going to take advantage of the people that was in his Patreon? Are you guys serious? I know you don't like me. Okay, forget me. Just take me out of the picture. Take me out of the picture. Think about what I'm saying to you. How does that exemplify good judgment? How does that exemplify good judgment? He said Dwayne YoungBlood felt honest to him. A tier 3 sex offender felt like an honest man to him. End quote. Reid further bedressed YoungBlood's false claims by stating that Jakes had fixers. Oh, Lord have mercy. He said Jakes had fixers called to stop his show from airing more episodes about YoungBlood's story, and that those efforts validated YoungBlood's claims. So Larry Reid said that TD Jakes had fixers who were trying to stop his program from going forward. Really? Okay. But we're the dishonest vloggers. We're the YouTube uploaders. We're the ones who are just out here hating on him. I'm just the guy who's so super jealous of Larry, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm crying at night every time, asking God, I don't know. I guess I'm supposed to ask God to give me whatever Larry has. I don't know what makes me so jealous. I don't know. According to these people, I'm just saying. And some of the things I can admit if I make a misstep or something, is not right. I'll say that I messed up. I'm clear on that. I've apologized on this platform before. You've never seen those narcissists over there apologize for anything. They're rude, they mean, they're disrespectful, and they just lie. And I want you all to start taking the same energy over there and make them people tell the truth and get over there in the chat. You know why you won't do it? Because those people would just flat out block you, and you know it, because they're mean as a junkyard dog. I'm over here trying to say, hey, if you disagree with me, you have every right to come up and to state your claim, and we could talk it out like grown-ups. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid to have any conversation. Go ask them fools to let y'all come up and have a conversation with them and extrapolate from them some of their misstatements in there. And go ask Larry. Well, Larry, what happened to all that evidence that you said that Manasseh was coming forth with? What happened to that, Larry? Go over there and ask him. You know what's going to happen? He going to block you and he going to delete you, because there's no accountability over there. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. I'm just saying, that's my opinion, and I don't care who don't like it, because I know one thing. If Dwayne YoungBlood felt honest to Larry Reid, I would want nothing to do with Larry Reid. You couldn't sell me a Jolly Green Giant pea out the can. I wouldn't even take it from you. I'd be like, something's wrong with your judgment. Something's wrong with your judgment. No, I'm not going nowhere with you. And no, I'm not about to invest in nothing, because your judgment is off, brother. Your judgment is off. It really is. Reid delivers a message to hundreds of thousands of viewers. Shout out to Gerald. Thank you so much for supporting the Madchurchdisease channel, Gerald. Thank you so much. Moving right along, y'all. Let me get on up over here. Reid delivers a message to hundreds of thousands of viewers. Believe YoungBlood's story. So he told the people to believe YoungBlood. However, as the words and tenor from the podcast video show, Reid is hardly performing an interview of YoungBlood. Rather, this is an obvious interplay between Reid and YoungBlood to tell a false story about abuse, where Jakes is the predator, and the shows themselves demonstrate, at minimum, the plausibility of the plaintiff's claim that YoungBlood and Reid acted in concert toward a common objective: to destroy Jakes and to make millions off of him. Now, let me tell you how I believe that was going to transpire. Y'all remember when YoungBlood came forth? Y'all remember? For those of you that are new to this story, let me help you out. He told everybody, y'all remember, he told everybody he was coming out with a book. Y'all remember? And they was working on the website. And then when TD Jakes' lawyer submitted some of the information to the court, y'all remember that they found the website that he was setting up, and they submitted that to the court. Y'all, so in my mind and estimation, part of this getting millions deal and making money was he was going to put out this new book, and it was supposed to bring him back from the ashes of his jail sentence and make him and formulate him into a whole new person. Right? That's what it was supposed to do, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Let me turn this off. I got to concentrate. All right. That's my opinion. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. They wanted millions of dollars. You witnessing a $6 million request letter. Third, the complaint pleads facts showing at least the agreement between YoungBlood and Reid. As a result of Reid giving YoungBlood his platform for what he knew would be YoungBlood's false accusation about Jakes on October 28th and November the 3rd, LRL episodes went viral. Then there was an extortion demand. By November the 15th, YoungBlood's lawyer sent a letter to Jakes. I want to pause right there. In the beginning, he was saying he wasn't even a YoungBlood's lawyer. Y'all remember? Come on. Where the adults at in the room? Y'all remember? He said he told TD Jakes' lawyers to kick rocks, that he wasn't representing YoungBlood. And then all of a sudden, when that lawsuit got filed, and then some people probably made some phone calls to each other, he was like, I better put myself back up in this case, because if I don't, they're going to be looking at me as a part of this conspiracy. And to be quite frank with you, yeah, I kind of believe it. That's, it looks that way to me on the surface. What kind of slimy, grimy situation is going on around here? And just based on some of the Google searches, if you Google Tyrone Blackburn, you will discover a pattern of behavior, in my opinion. Come on now. We just talking. This is our front porch conversation. I'm talking to you like I'm back in Winston-Salem, sitting on the porch, on my grandmother's porch, in that little rocking swinger thing she had. We're just talking. Reid knew and endorsed the plan according to this. The lawyer's documents. That's what he said. He said Reid knew and endorsed the plan, as evidenced by his statements in the podcast that followed the very same night Jakes filed the instant lawsuit. In that LRL episode, Reid admitted that he knew about and had seen the $6 million letter. Don't y'all remember when Larry said he saw the $6 million letter? If I remember correctly, the quote was he saw the top of the letter. I believe Larry said he didn't see the full letter. I believe he said he just saw the top portion of the letter, but he did see the letter, according to what Reid said, if my memory serves me properly. And that he knew that the letter was being sent to Bishop T.D. Jakes. Now, here's my question to you. If they were not working in concert with one another, what would have been the necessity for them to send the top portion of the letter of the lawsuit to Larry Reid? Because Larry Reid is not a part of this. He's just an interviewer, right? He's just an interviewer. So why would he have to get a copy of the letter to know that the letter had been sent? How does that benefit Larry Reid in any way to know that the letter had been sent? What does that do for Larry? It does nothing for Larry. If he's not, a person who's working in consort with Dwayne YoungBlood. I mean, it's a legitimate question. I'm just saying it's a legitimate question. Given Reid's own statement, man, I asked some really good questions. You ought to send me a Cash App just for the questions I ask. I'm just saying, aren't I making you think? Come on, let's be honest. You thinking. I know you thinking. Now, you may not want to admit to it, but you know you thinking tonight. We thinking. Given Reid's own statements taken together with other factual allegations in the complaint at minimum, plaintiff pleads a plausible claim that at least Reid and YoungBlood worked together to publish the false story about Jake. So they're claiming and they're making it emphatically clear in this filing that Larry Reid of the Larry Reid Live Show, the allegation that they're stating is that Larry Reid of the Larry Reid Live Show and Dwayne YoungBlood worked in consort to publish the false story about T.D. Jakes and to destroy his reputation and extract millions of dollars from him. That's what they're saying, ladies and gentlemen. My thing is this, ladies and gentlemen. It could be assumed. That is the case based upon the fact of how we led to Dwayne YoungBlood. How did we get to Dwayne YoungBlood? We got to Dwayne YoungBlood by way of Manasseh Jordan. And I'm going to stop reading it tonight there unless somebody else has something they want me to read. If they saw something here that they want me to draw out, I don't really think I need to go any further. I think I've definitely made myself clear tonight. I'm going to list and drop the link, and I'll pin it for those of you to come up. Sean Talks, if you still here, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what I've said thus far. I did enjoy your commentary, and I know you talk with some sense. So even if you disagree, you're gonna say something worth listening to. So let me just say this, Sean. I'm dropping that link for you. If St. James is in this chat, you're more than welcome to come up. I'm saying specifically right now, if Sean Talks wants to come up, I definitely want to hear what you have to say, Sean. So let me talk to Sean first, and then we'll talk to the rest. Now, Tasha Global, I think you're in here too. If you have not yet fallen asleep, I definitely want to hear from you as well tonight. And you guys just tell me what you think, because maybe you don't see it the way I see it. Maybe you see it differently. If you see it differently, or maybe you see a nuance or something that I don't see, I would love for you to excavate and kind of communicate what you see and what you understand. Because to be quite frank with you, I think this is sort of cut and dry to me. I really do. I really believe this is cut and dry. I believe that T.D. Jakes is completely going to mop the floor with these people. I really believe that. I believe that Larry Reid's ass is grass, and that T.D. Jakes is the lawnmower. I'm sorry, I just believe that. I'm sorry, I believe it. I absolutely 1000% believe it. And Larry need to get himself together. First of all, he better try to pull in something that makes more sense than what he's been doing. Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, in all honesty, his goose is cooked. His goose is absolutely cooked. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all tomorrow, I'm going to be dealing with this Tiffany Montgomery situation. Tasha, well, you need to go research on that Tiffany Montgomery stuff that's going on. That's going to be a hot story here in a minute. And I'm definitely going to deal with it. It's already hot. It's buzzing on the internet. I'm just saying so y'all know. Okay, Sean, what do you think, Sean? What do you think? Because maybe because people be saying I'm just biased. What do you see in all of this? What did you hear? What do you think?
I've been waiting for some type of response from them because if we all go back and think, first of all, let me say thank you for having me. Um, we have to be grown and actually think.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything that is happening, everything that has been said in this latest update is true. Like, I don't understand why when you all talk about it that it's always taken so personal and it's a you hate Larry, you hate Larry, you hate
Right.
Larry. Why you always talking about Larry? Why you always talking about Larry? But just like anything else, if Larry is in the news or Larry is in the know, it's going to be talked about.
Absolutely.
But when you think about the things that Larry has said before, flip flopping now to I'm not named, I'm not named, I'm not named, I don't have nothing to do with it, I love Jakes,
Right.
to your name constantly being said here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now is, oh, it ain't said nothing. This don't mean nothing. How?
I don't know how he could come to that conclusion.
Like, how does this not, how is this nothing?
Now, let me ask you a question, Sean. When they put people together in a lawsuit like this, I don't know, and maybe somebody in the chat can answer this because I don't know the answer to this question. When they add people to the lawsuit like this, and let's say Jakes wins a $10 million lawsuit. Let's say they got to pay him 10 million. Do they both have to split the 10 million and pay him the 10 million, or do they individually have to pay him the money? Like, since they're both named in the lawsuit, would they split liability? You understand what I'm saying? Like, how would that work? Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question though, isn't it?
Because if they're both being named separately, I would say they should be charged separately. Like, we ain't splitting. If I want 10, I want 10 from both of y'all.
Right.
5 and 5.
Right. Well, that's an interesting thing because I really am trying to figure this out. But I'm be honest with you, Sean. There is no more debating with me about the validity of the statements that have been made in these legal documents. We all have seen it, heard it, watched it. If you're willfully being ignorant at this particular point, you're just being ignorant,
That
in my opinion.
it's a personal thing against the content creators.
Mm,
It's never, let me take myself and my feelings out of this
right,
and look at what's being presented, not how somebody is feeling, not the personal part of it. Look at the facts.
right.
It's the facts that are there. This is not stuff this is what the court is saying, not another content creator. So if
Correct.
you can take this and say, oh, that ain't nothing, something is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, ride for your homie, but do one or two things. Either
Right.
discuss what's been presented or don't say nothing at all.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I'm just amazed at how they laid this out in this filing because they clearly communicated that they feel that Larry and YoungBlood, at least the two of them, they say, okay, well, let's leave out the rest of the co-conspirators, right? Let's just say the two of them, we can show clearly that the two of them worked in concert because of the nature of how the interview was given and taken. And they said because Larry extrapolated certain things that he wanted YoungBlood to say during the live, that it could only, one could only assume something that is reasonable, that they were trying to defame TD Jakes' character. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
I do. Not unfortunately, but I'm just saying I do. Because I know some of you just don't want to believe it because it's me saying it, but
They were like, you can't. Okay, the title, the title of the live was talked about for about, I'm gonna be nice and say 30 minutes.
okay.
After that, it went into all of the bishops and all of the things, and this happened and they did this. And it's like, I kept saying, when are we going to get back to what you did? Like, how do we continuously get to what these bishops supposedly did?
Mm.
And it just kept changing. Everything just kept changing. And I'm like, this does not make sense. I said from day one, he's lying.
Mm.
He's
Mm.
lying.
What was the first indicator to you, or what made you think when you first heard the story that he was lying? Like, what leaped out at you first, like the most? What was like the most blaring red herring?
The first thing that, now I was listening to him, I was intensely listening because, we all like tea. So I'm like, okay, this is
Right.
somebody who really has a story. So, okay, let's listen. But the whole, the pulling in was a red flag. The I took him home was a red flag because y'all all came together, but then you took somebody else's car and drove him home by yourself. And then he pulled you to him. He called you the next day. There was no video chat back then. This is
Right.
not blackout background and all of that. So you just assumed he was in the bathtub, which I don't believe that he called. Because here's the thing, even though he wasn't the TD Jakes then that he is now, he's not calling you. It was just,
It was kind of weird. Just I'll use the word weird. Let's use the word
it
weird.
just was weird. It
Yeah, it
was
was
so
weird.
many red
Yeah, it
flags.
was weird. And I'm gonna tell you something now. Think about this, Sean Talks. I'm getting ready to come to you, Tasha Global, right now. He's saying he drove TD Jakes, an up and coming evangelist, home when he was a quote unquote supposed to be 17 years old. That's the first age he used. Well, that was the last age he used when he submitted the letter to the lawyers, according to the documents. But in the other
Mhm.
instances, he said that he was what, 18, 19. So again, ladies and gentlemen, he can't even get the story straight. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Tasha Global, I wonder what Lamar Whitehead is saying right now, if he's paying attention or he has access to the internet in any kind of way. Do you think, I wonder if Lamar knows this? I need to send Lamar a letter.
He want to
But
go
anyway,
laugh so bad.
what
He
what do
want to
you,
go laugh so bad.
I know, right? This is
Well,
hilarious.
this whole thing, even with him, what I didn't like, even though everyone knows I'm on the opposing side of Lamar Whitehead, but I stand for righteousness. And what I
Right,
did not like is the fact that Larry tried to use his platform to, of course, we all know that Lamar Whitehead came out to be a scammer.
right.
But sir, you yourself are is a scammer, and you have now been caught up in an alleged, what I'm going to call, and it's apparent in this new filing, extortion plot. So it's the pot calling the kettle black,
Well, they're definitely alleging it. That's for sure.
And I
Mm.
wonder if the feds are going to get involved in this, because you're running a nonprofit organization, and this is what people need to understand. You're running a nonprofit organization, but behind the scenes, you're plotting to extort $6 million from one of the most famous black pastors in America.
Yeah. According to Time Magazine, he was the next Billy Graham.
Yes.
Which is crazy. And hey Tasha, I just want to throw this in there real quick too. Larry said the other day that he has a larger social media reach than TD Jakes. So why would it not make sense for YoungBlood to come on his platform? I looked at the numbers. Sir.
Yeah, I know.
Sir.
Well, have you guys not seen a pattern with Larry that he loves to put himself in circles with people that he could not even hold a candle to. He loves to make himself adjacent to individuals. And that's why he loves to run around talking about, I'm a Grammy. Well, I'm a stellar nominated artist. I'm just like Shirley Caesar and this one and this one and this one and this one, right? And so it makes for Gerald. I don't know if that's you. I need to see your face or something. You using your avatar. I need to be careful that that's you. Okay, that is you. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that's you. But this is a situation that we have to look at in that vein. Okay, in that aspect. This dude, I don't know. To me, this is cut and dry. And I hope TD Jakes is able to take him like them old washing machines that we used to have when I was growing up. Y'all remember they used to take the clothes and put them through the little roller and it would squeeze out all the water. I hope that TD Jakes rolls these people through till he squeezes everything out of them that he could possibly squeeze out of them. Because this is ridiculous. Go ahead, Gerald. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I'm gonna take everybody back for a while. See, he's been asking for TD Jakes' attention for a while. If anybody goes back, if you remember, he started on TD Jakes' daughters first. Let's go back. He
I
started
wasn't even
on
watching then. I don't even know.
yeah, he started on his daughters first because that's when we found out about Cora and all of that other stuff. He started saying Cora took a lady's child and all. He started back then with this saying that Jakes was a fixer. That was the first time. Then when he met Bishop Carlton Pearson, he tried to pull stuff out of Bishop Carlton Pearson, and Bishop was like, no, I'm not going for that. So you've been at Jakes for at least 3 to 4 years. So there's a pattern to what he has been doing. You just found a fool to help you with doing this. Now,
Okay.
what happened?
Well, I got a question for you then, Gerald, because I've asked everybody this, but I'm going to ask it to you. Do you think Larry set YoungBlood up?
Yeah. My bad. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So because see, here's the thing. Then in a sense, and I'm coming to you, Sean. So then, then that means that YoungBlood is also being victimized by the person that he trusted to tell his story. Sean, what do you think?
I absolutely agree. He definitely said that. He definitely set him up. I don't think. He didn't think that it was going to go like this.
Of course
Yes,
not.
I
Of
agree.
He
course
did
not.
not think it was going to go like this. He
I
found
agree.
someone gullible enough
Mm-hmm.
to bite, somebody who needed money, and he
Mm-hmm.
was able to coach him into saying what it was he really wanted to say, but didn't want to say it himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because
What
he's
he
trying to get
Yes.
so many other people to do it. We got the Manasseh, we got he know people in his camp, and he got people here, and he got people there, and they told him this, and they told him that. Then he tried with the Michelle, like it's always something leading to Bishop Jakes. I don't know what it is. I
Jakes
can't
wouldn't give him
know
attention. He
what
wouldn't
it
give him
is.
attention. That's exactly what it was. He would not give him
But
attention.
Wow.
did he want to be okay? So if Larry is saying that him and Manasseh has been friends all of this time, was he jealous that Manasseh had gotten into that position with Bishop Jakes and he didn't?
That's a good question.
Let's put it this way. Let's
Well,
put it this way.
okay. Let's go down that road for just a minute. Y'all know my mind starts to think. So maybe it could have been, and I'm alleging, I don't know. Because after Larry done left Bernard Jordan, talking about he got another mentor. So maybe he wanted to be next to TD Jakes so he could be mentored by Jakes, and he was rejected in some kind of way or another. I'm not saying that happened, but for another grown man to be so adamant about going after another individual, there has to be something there.
There
It's
is something
something.
there, and I know what it is.
Okay, I'm listening.
I'm
So,
listening too.
what was going on over the past maybe 6 years? Manasseh Jordan was not speaking to his father, right? And he grew a relationship with TD Jakes. Behind the scenes, when I was over at Zoe Ministries, Bishop Jordan was extremely deeply hurt because his son turned his back on him. And because Larry and Bishop Jordan was in that mentor mentee relationship friendship, Larry decided that he was going to be Captain Save a Son's Prophet and
Mm-hmm.
try to reunite Manasseh and Bishop Jordan. And then he started having this negative feelings towards against Bishop T.D. Jakes because he felt like Bishop T.D. Jakes took Manasseh from Bishop Jordan and had him buy him a car and do all of these different things that he was not doing for his own father,
Mm.
right? And so once Larry got involved. He takes credit for bringing Manasseh and his father back together, and then he went on this campaign because he felt like TD Jakes doesn't give Bishop Jordan the recognition that he deserves because Bishop Jordan has a book called The Written Judgments.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book, apparently Bishop Jordan is the first person who prophesied that there would be a prophet, a mega pastor rising up out of West Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
and that person would be TD Jakes.
He
And
didn't know. No, I got
I'm
the
just
book.
telling you what was
I
going
know.
on.
I got the book in my
So he
hand.
so
I,
he said that Bishop Larry says that Bishop Jordan never gave him the credit. Bishop Jordan felt like he never got the credit. And then they were playing this video about when TD Jakes apparently at some point gave Bishop Jordan the credit. Then Larry took it on himself to use his platform to basically, the Jordans don't like drama. Let me just say it like that. They don't like to be in drama, but what they will do is use someone like Larry to fight on the out here, like where we are
right.
out here. So that's my analysis of it because I was behind the scenes and I heard the pain that Bishop Jordan had because his son was not speaking to him and was close to TD Jakes. And I'm
Right.
going to just park
Well,
it
Tasha,
there.
that's one of the reasons why I believe that Bernard Jordan went and got Manasseh away from Larry. I really believe that Bernard
Yes,
Jordan got Manasseh away from him. And I believe one of the reasons why Larry makes sure that he stated that him and Manasseh are still friends, because he wants there to be in the mind of everybody in the public that there's still a connection there, right? And so he doesn't want people to think that they have nothing to do with him. So he will say, well, me and Manasseh is still friends. Well, my thing is, you're a grown man of a certain age. Why are you going around befriending his son and not his father?
exactly.
You would have said,
Why
oh,
are you bragging about it?
you
Why
know,
do you even brag about it?
yeah. Well, I mean,
Is it true? Who can really prove that?
exactly. I know, right?
That too. But Larry has. But see, going back to Tarsha, so why he didn't go after what's the dude that likes to throw his coat on everybody?
What's that again?
Who is that?
You talking about
What's
Benny
the guy
Hinn?
that he like to throw? Yeah, why didn't go? Why Jordan didn't go after feel like that towards Benny Hinn?
Well,
Well,
Manasseh was with Benny Hinn for a while.
he
That's what
was
I'm
with,
saying. And
yeah,
when it came out, if I remember correctly, Larry said a split thing about Benny Hinn, and then he started going directly after TD Jakes. Like he just kept going and bombarding, saying stuff about. Then say at the same time, like somebody said in chat, he did praise him, but the way he praised Jakes was slick, throwing slick shots at Jakes at the same time.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
this was all about two mega, what is it, church families, the Jordans and the Jakes. Jordans were using Larry's platform to go after TDJ. And this is Tarsha Global saying this, so I don't want anyone saying that anyone else. This is what I analyzed and from what I saw based on what I heard and saw behind the scenes and how hurt Bishop Jordan with tears in his eyes about his son Manasseh. And the last birthday party that I went to when Manasseh was there was their first reuniting. And
Hmm.
Manasseh tied his father's shoes. And Larry stood there taking credit for the reuniting. Bishop, what is his name, Prophet Brian Karn was
Right.
there, and all these famous prophets were there in that same party when this reuniting happened. So
Hmm.
all of this with Bishop TD Jakes, I'm going to say, for me, I believe from what I have seen, it's because of Bishop Jordan's hurt, and Larry wants to be out here fighting for, at that time, his mentor, and now they're not even in communication.
Wow.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, all I'm going to tell you, Sean Talks, Gerald, Tasha Global, let me tell you something. The rubber has met the road. There is nowhere to go now but to court. I don't foresee this court. I don't see the judge dismissing this case. You don't, and I'm gonna repeat this again, and I'm gonna keep repeating this. You don't get to send out a $6 million request for $6 million and ride off into the sunset like you haven't done a thing. That ain't gonna never happen. Someone will be held accountable for making these salacious claims and all of the things that they've said. And my thing is this: I'm gonna say this again. If you thought you were truly a person who had been victimized, you would hope for the day that you could bring your information and your stuff into court. You wouldn't be trying to have the case dismissed. You would want to go and have your day in court. I don't understand why now everybody wants to have everything dismissed. Please, judge, get rid of this case. They begging. They just begging, begging, begging. But I want to say this too, Tasha Global, because there's a theme running here in the next couple in the last several days with these prophets and these so-called people. The hypocrisy of these so-called prophets. Now, Larry went after Lamar Whitehead, calling him a crook and all of this other stuff. And mind you, he did some underhanded stuff, right? He did some underhanded stuff. But in my opinion, wasn't Larry doing some of the same kind of, crooked things behind the scenes by making these salacious claims against a man? Because at the
Yep.
same time, he was saying that, that Bernard, that Whitehead was guilty of breaking the law. In my humble opinion, it looks like Larry was too, according to these attorneys. I'm just
Yep.
saying.
That's what it
Mhm.
looks like.
I'm just saying. Well, you all, I thank y'all so very much for coming up and speaking with me tonight. I'm gonna give you guys a chance for all your final thoughts before you go. I'm gonna start with you, Tasha Global, because I know you got that beautiful baby over there. I'm gonna start with you, Tasha. Give me your final thoughts.
My final thoughts is that I am so happy that justice is coming. I'm going to continue to intercede and pray that God will continue to expose all lies, will be exposed, like Cat Williams said. Good night, y'all.
All right, Gerald, I'm coming to you.
Run, run, center man. Where you gonna run to? That's all I got to say. I'm
Yeah.
out.
Well, ain't no rock gonna hide Larry. Sean Talks. There's no rock that's gonna hide Larry from this situation. Not even in Ghana or Dubai.
It, neither. I'm gonna say this. I really want people to use their brains with this situation. I want people to stop saying that we're crazy, we're making up stuff, we just don't like Larry. And that's not true. I don't know Larry to not like him. I'm just going on what is being presented. This is not personal. This is no dig at Larry. It is what it is.
And I thank you so much for coming up, Sean. Let me just tell all of you that are here with me right now, y'all listen to me very carefully. This particular case, Dwayne YoungBlood has until the 3rd, which is next week. I think they gave him like 7 days to respond. So we're going to be right back here at this same bat station and same bat channel talking about this on the 3rd, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys just hang on to your horses. But here's my thing. I don't believe that Dwayne YoungBlood, this is my personal belief. I think that Dwayne YoungBlood was a little too trusting of this blogger. And I think the vlogger, in my opinion, I don't know if this to be a fact. I'm just speculating. I believe that this vlogger presented himself as a person who could help him and that wanted to help him tell his story, etc., etc. I don't believe it. I don't believe it not one bit. Okay. And this vlogger got Dwayne YoungBlood into something that Dwayne YoungBlood is not going to be able to get himself out. If I'm not mistaken, ladies and gentlemen, Dwayne YoungBlood is on parole. Now, I don't know the law all that much, but I'm thinking if you get convicted in a criminal case of defaming someone and doing what what they're alleging in this particular court case, I do believe that Dwayne YoungBlood is probably going to go back to jail. I don't think that he could be out on parole participating in conspiracy theories and asking for demand letters of $6 million. This is one of the reasons why I think that they're asking for this case to be dismissed. Let's not be crazy here, ladies and gentlemen. These people done stepped into it. And all of the people that wrote them darn affidavits, I believe except 1 or 2 persons, were all criminals. One of them happened to be a cellmate of Dwayne YoungBlood. And you all want us to just fall in line with this stuff. And I just can't. Everything in me is just like, no, Marcellus, you ain't crazy. And I just, hey, that's why I ask. That's why I ask for you guys' opinions. All I'm going to tell you right now is Larry Reid, you can't run to Ghana. You're not going to run to Dubai. It's not going to save you. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. Donald Trump is letting a whole bunch of criminals out of jail. Boy, I believe if y'all go to court and get away with it real quick and y'all get y'all sentence or whatever happens to you, you never know. Donald Trump could pardon you and let you right on out of jail. Because I'm telling you right now, run, Rudolph, because this is going to court and you are not going to be able to get out of this situation. And Larry, I know many people are going to say it's just because Marcellus hates Larry. Listen to me, Larry. Just like I was able to sit on a platform with Jives yesterday, with all of the stuff that happened between him, I'm a professional. I may not necessarily agree with everything a person does or says, but I know how to conduct myself, right? Let me tell you something, Larry. I could be in the same situation with you, but I would hold you accountable, and that's what you're afraid of. Anybody that is articulate and can actually formulate some sentences and actually ask you some legitimate things, you run from. You run over there to Willie Moore Jr.'s program where he over there with them. Don't do that, Marcellus. Okay. You over there with Willie Moore sitting up there telling that man all them lies, and the rest of the internet knows everything that you saying over there is a lie, but Willie Moore don't know it because he don't know all of this stuff. He just over there thinking, oh, Larry's my friend. And then at the same time, Vincent showed a text message that you sent over there to him talking about Willie Moore wants to ride it. But Willie Moore thinks that you're his friend. What kind of friend are you? You understand what I'm saying? And so that lets me know right then and there you cannot be trusted. I'm going to end with this saying, let me tell you something. If this is Larry's idea of good judgment is to land himself in another court case, I don't think he has good judgment. And if there are any attorneys watching this program, go back and pull the court records from the E. Dewey Smith case, and they're going to weave for you some issues and problems with the character and the nature of the co-conspirator number 1 that you named in this case. And you will be able to extrapolate from that case some information that will become quite helpful to you in this case. And I think that might help you. I think you might want to go and take a look at that. Now, don't get mad at me for just using my brain, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Madchurchdisease channel. And let me tell you, Jesus plus nothing equals everything. And if you don't believe nothing I said, believe this. I refuse to let people make me think something when I know I'm supposed to be thinking something else. I am fully grown over here, and so are you. And you know better. You know what you done heard. You know what you done saw. And I would not let anybody try to convince me of anything otherwise. If you've made up your mind about some things, now there might be some other information that we could get. Okay. And you know, I'm willing if you come forward with something legitimate. But this man said the whole reason why he got rid of Rosalind Weems was because of book sales. Not because she was a fraudster. He said it was the book sales. I'm talking about judgment, y'all. That's his judgment. He said him and Bernard Jordan, his mentor, are no longer friends because Bernard Jordan went to the White House and started singing "How Great Thou Art" with a bunch of other people. And he says he knew that he voted for Donald Trump because he is a prophet. He's a prophet that didn't even know Rosalind Weems was lying. Lobster Lily told him that she went out in her backyard and picked all her lobsters from her 63 acres in Maine, off the coast of Maine, and she was lying through her teeth. And Larry says he has good judgment. And he coming out here on these YouTube streets talking about the rest of us are all crazy and we don't know what we're talking about. Larry, good judgment has landed you in court with one of America's foremost preachers in America. You didn't even have the decency and the good judgment to go to this man and to talk to this man. You according to these attorneys, worked in concert with Dwayne YoungBlood to have this man and to tell all these salacious stories on 2 podcasts and to threaten him with more podcasts to come, according to the court documents. Listen to me, Larry Reid. You do not have good judgment. You do not have the scruples. I listen here. You worse than radio. I'm just saying, you worse than radio. If this is what you call good judgment, Larry, I know one thing. I wouldn't invest not a dime in you or none of your projects. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the bell icon and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button or somewhere around here so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.